Stats versus facts. Ayy, know where we at on the stats versus facts. Yeah, my boy, hella black. He on the stats versus facts. And you might get smacked by the stats versus facts. Ayy. Yo, what's going on, peoples? It's stats versus facts, sports talk with your boy Marsh. What's going on with the crew? What it do, crew?
What's going on?
Yes, sir. We got my man BG. What's going on, BG?
You know why I'm here, man.
The brand man. You know what I'm saying? C-Mac in the building.
Ladies and gentlemen, back again.
And G-Reg still need that money.
Still need, you know why I'm here.
Hey, that man.
Still need that money.
Cheddar. Hey,
I got the money.
Ah, man, we are back for another great show. A lot of big news going on in the NBA. That's where we're actually going to start. I'm not even going, man, forget the rest of the show. Let's start with the NBA, man.
Straight into it.
So, one of the bigger news that has been trending around has been Russell Westbrook and James Harden not wanting to play with each other anymore in Houston. So now Houston, we may have a problem. Ha ha, pun, funny, da-da-da-da-da. It's been said before.
Houston, we have a problem.
So right now they're trying to find suitors for Westbrook. Obviously, it's going to be difficult finding a landing spot for him because his trade value has gone down. And for Harden, Houston wants to keep him, but shoots Harden's 31, 32 years old. Dude's like, yo, I'm trying to win. What's Houston going to bring for me? So I'm going to start with Mr. Brandman, BG. What do you think should happen with this team with Westbrook and Harden?
It's a new season. They're going to have a new coach. But I just think that Russ and Harden isn't the answer for them in Houston. The trade that I actually see going through that would make sense to me is possibly PG-13 for Russ. Just depending on, what's Harden's chemistry with PG-13 and, Kawhi's chemistry with Russ,
You read what that look? What was that look? What did you do? You said what?
Good God.
So why wouldn't that work, G-Rag?
I just don't want Westbrook on any team that I'm trying to win. I just don't want him. He makes bad decisions. He's an inefficient player. Can't shoot threes. I mean, I understand, the energy he plays with. He don't lock up on defense. I mean,
I've been saying that.
Rough out here.
Right. C-Mac or Rand, I don't know if you were finished.
Oh, no, I'm done.
Okay. C-Mac.
I like Russ Westbrook. I would take him if I was a coach or a GM. I just don't think he's ever had a good system that actually, brought him down to earth or, made him realize what his value to the team is. He's taking the role because nobody else around him is taking the, leadership role. And he sees a bunch of bums, regardless of, how much they put up or how much they think their value is. Russell Westbrook sees the people that he's around with, and he's got really solid points of what he said. If I was Russell Westbrook, I would ask to be traded. So that's my take.
Right. So here's the thing. If you're Russell Westbrook, I can understand you wanted to be traded because new coach has come in and he's even said, oh, yeah, we're going to stick to small ball. Why? You know it has not worked in Houston. So that's number one. Number two, for Westbrook, he has to realize that he just had a birthday. Matter of fact, I believe it was, today? Turned 32. Happy birthday, Russell Westbrook. But you're getting older, man. That athleticism is going to start slowly going down. If you ain't got a shot, you're not going to be in the league, but maybe another couple of years, at a, decent guard, unless you're going to rely on your passing. Because if he can't shoot, what is he really going to do, guys, outside of his passing?
He's going to shoot some more.
Shoot some more. So teams aren't going to want him. By him going to the Clippers, that's a bad trade for the Clippers. It's good for the Rockets, don't get me wrong, but it's bad for the Clippers because you're not going to win with having Westbrook on your team. Not because here's the proposed trade. It's not only PG coming back to the Rockets, but now the Rockets are also getting Patrick Beverly back. I think they're going to get was Harrell a part of that trade, Zubac and a pick. I mean, that's a lot for a 32-year-old point guard. He did average 27 points in the regular season, but playoffs, we didn't know what the heck happened to this man. He had an injury, he had to sit out. I mean, he's just not a bad player, but I don't think the Clippers are a good system for him to go to. Me personally thinks he would work better in Philadelphia. Reason why I'm saying that, and I know Swish is gonna get on me, he'll get pissed off, whatever. Come Wednesday, we can have the discussion. But you bring in Westbrook, but you don't bring in only Westbrook. You bring in a PJ Tucker, possibly an Eric Gordon. Now you have shooters around him to pair up with the Joel Embiid. You take Ben Simmons and maybe a Horford if you can, and move him to Houston to pair with a James Harden. Now James Harden has a guy in Ben Simmons, don't care if he shoots. He's going to pass the ball. So Harden can take all the damn shots that he wants to. All right. And Simmons is going to be able to attack the rim. He's a big body. Horford is also, he can play down in the post. So they'll have another big guy. Now they'll lose some of their shooting for sure. But, with Harden, what do you really have to do? You can put up all the damn shots that he wants to. So now if I'm James Harden, there's also been talk about him going to Brooklyn, which I would absolutely hate for Brooklyn. Reason why. Harden and Kyrie shooting 40 shots each a game with Kevin Durant needing at least 20, 25 shots. Like, that's not going to work.
And one mixtape.
Yeah, definitely be an one mixtape. So that's not going to work. Because we have to remember, Harden doesn't really play defense like that. Not saying he can't, but he really doesn't. But
put him on power forwards.
He'd get destroyed.
I mean, that's what he guards. That's why they hide him because power forwards aren't really that good. So
that's true.
Hide him over there.
That's true. But once they realize, we got a mismatch, we can see something. So for Harden, guys, him and Ben Simmons, I could see working out the best. Other than that, I just don't know where you could put, because they're talking about having him and Joel Embiid. That wouldn't work to me because, granted, yes, Harden and Westbrook do shoot a lot of shots, and I understand Harden can pass the ball, but at the same time, what do the Rockets do? They would run. They play quick ball and Embiid's slow. So you're going to have to set up, in a half-court offense. You can't play in transition like James Harden would like to do. So that just wouldn't work. Westbrook can play in the half-court offense, and with shooters around him, I don't think – here's my question to you guys. Has Westbrook really had a lot of shooters around him that won't jack up more shots than him, like in recent history that we can think of?
That won't jack up more shots than he would?
Or because,
Okay,
obviously –
Paul George.
But Paul George creates his own shot. Let me rephrase. Has Westbrook had a team with shooters that don't necessarily create their own shot, but are like just prolific shooters from the 3-point line?
Like all Danny Greens?
Huh?
Like all Danny Greens or something?
Yeah, or all Kyle Korvers, or all Bertans is another good. Like, I don't think he's really had a team with great shooters around him that consistent.
I think he would be a good fit for New Orleans.
They're not even all that great shooters.
No, they got JJ Redick. I think that's all he needs, really.
Send them to Detroit or the Hornets or the Knicks. They need somebody.
Yeah.
Just let them.
I think this is gonna sound very weird, but if Westbrook went to a team, I'm not saying go there, but if he went to a team like a Miami where you have shooters, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, that can spot up, right? Take some of that load off of Jimmy Butler, be able to drive to the hoop, although they still do need a big man. That could work because he needs to be in a place where he has shooters around him. Can't be in a place where you have another star going to jack up the same amount of shots as you, because Westbrook's obviously not going to switch up his style. You need to have a supporting cast of shooters around him, because he will pass the ball, don't get me wrong, but he will also jack up his shots. So when that's not working, got to have the other shooters around him. So Philly, I think, could work. I think Philly could work. Get him and Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker, or one of those two. Bring Milton off the bench. He's another shooter. And maybe draft another shooter or get another guy, and I think they would be okay. So any other comments? I know I took up.
Oh, no. I think they're just going to salary dump him to like the Knicks or something in Detroit or the Hornets to sell tickets. I don't think he's going to go anywhere else.
Clear some salary for like a free agent signing? You're saying free up some salary for a free agent signing?
No, I think they're just going to get rid of him. I think the last reports where they're saying if New York's willing to absorb all of his contract and not give everything back, that they're going to give him pretty cheap off.
Right. So we'll see with that one. Interesting story that I heard as well. The Cavaliers are trying to get rid of Kevin Love. They put him on the trading block. And a team interested in possibly getting him, which would be in a 3-team trade, was the Golden State Warriors, in which they would actually get rid of Draymond Green to another team, probably whoever that third team would be. I want to hear from you guys. C-Mac, I'm going to start with you. Does that even help the Warriors? Like, why would you even consider doing this?
That would absolutely like bring the Warriors back to like a championship contending team, even though they pretty much already are. But like serious contending, like they would. I would consider them like top 5 in the Western Conference. Well, like undoubtedly probably top 3 with Kevin Love, because Kevin Love will give them more of a lethal shooter rather than Draymond Green and more offensive threat. Draymond Green, you just like do whatever you want. Like he'll have his hot games and whatnot, but consistently he's not an offensive threat. So Kevin Love would bring that.
Interesting. G-Reg.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not the most guys checking out the Cavs every night, so I don't know what Kevin. I mean, I know he's been injured too a lot too, so I don't know what he has in the tank left. I don't know if he can. I guess you play him at center and just stick him out in the corner and let him shoot. I mean, I don't know if he can guard power forwards anymore on the perimeter. I mean, if you. I mean, his shooting obviously is the big, and his passing ability. He can still pass.
Right.
I don't know if he can rebound still. I don't know, but he definitely is a great shooter. I mean, we've seen that with LeBron. So
right. This is skinny Kevin Love. This isn't chunky Kevin Love. So
yeah.
I don't know if he has the rebound, like you said. Brander or BG Brand. I gotta come up with it.
I don't think that it really makes sense to do so. Kevin Love defensively is questionable. I think, injuries too, very questionable with that. I think the offense would get more efficient if the Warriors draft Wiseman. You're looking at Wiseman at the 5, and then you have
they could still possibly do. Doesn't necessarily
mean Love at the 4, and you got Wiggins at the 3, Clay at the 2, Curry at the 1. I mean, that's a lethal 5 right there. So just depending on, what do the Warriors do in free agency, the rookie draft, But personally, I wouldn't take that trade. I think, you keep the band together with Curry, Clay, and Draymond.
So the interesting thing about that, guys, is Kevin Love comes in. He would essentially kind of fit into a David Lee type of role, other than he can shoot 3-pointers, which is good. And they may still be able to draft Wiseman. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. The thing that would hurt the Warriors is Draymond's passing ability, because Draymond Green is a good passer. And Curry sometimes gets a little bit too reckless. So that's why they kind of have Draymond to kind of reel him back in. So that would be a concern if you're the Warriors. But, Kevin Love bringing in, you have a better shooter than Draymond, because I've been hearing some people say that Draymond's not taking it serious enough now, and he'll be back with his shooting percentage coming up. And I'm just like, the backpack kid is going to come up and shoot better. Like, come on, man. The backpack shooter is going to come.
The Warriors, they still have Pascal, right? He had a good year last season.
Yeah, Eric Pascal. Yeah,
What position is he? Is he a power forward too?
Essentially, yeah, he's essentially a power forward coming off the bench. He'll probably come off the bench. You would have, I believe, Kevon Looney is there right now. He would be their starting center unless you end up drafting a Wiseman, or if they make that trade for LaMarcus Aldridge. Who knows? With that. You also have. Say it again.
I was like, I was thinking about Kevin Love and Aldridge together.
Yeah, that'd be interesting for sure. And then you also have coming off the bench, he's Stephen Curry's brother-in-law. I always forget his name. Blonde hair. I have to.
Oh, no.
Who'd you say?
I was going to say, I think Lee, but no, it's not him.
Yeah, Damian Lee. Damian Lee. Yeah, Damian Lee. So, and he's not bad coming off the bench either. Those guys had some time to start. Now you come off the bench. Curry and Clay are coming back. So, it's not a bad trade, but if you do have to give up Draymond Green, you need to make sure that you have another playmaker besides Steph out there to kind of get you back.
You really think that Draymond Green is a solidified playmaker for the Warriors?
No, without a doubt. The reason why they ended up winning was because you look at it, Draymond Green would get those assists. He'd get rebounds and wouldn't really get, a high, PPG. So, yeah, you definitely need him. He's part of that backbone of the team, whether people think it or not, if him missing shots, but you definitely need him.
You're right as far as he's the backbone of the team. As far as mentality goes, he like sticks out as a sore thumb when it comes to Golden State Warriors. Like, the Golden State Warriors right now, like a finesse team, and Draymond Green's that like gritty edge to the team, right? But Kevin Love, I feel like would be a better fit for the Warriors right now for the future.
If you have to give up Draymond, no. Go ahead, Greg.
I was gonna say he's the Boris Diaw of the team. Boris was a secondary playmaker, defender.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true. But he has a little bit more of an attitude.
Yeah, but
I'm
going to take Diaw at $5 or $4 million, whatever we're paying him, over Draymond Green for $27 million.
Yeah, I would say like if Draymond's contract went down, I would keep him. But I mean, for the price, I need to get rid of him.
I mean, what they could do, they could end up, negotiating the contract, but
Then do they get hella soft?
If he leaves?
Yeah.
For sure. On the pick and roll, I mean, that's what Draymond is really good at, is defending. And, when Curry's a liability and stuff, they switch Curry off and you have Clay up there. And when they set the screens, Draymond's up there. Is Kevin Love really going to bring that same, defense mentality?
No.
So, I'm taking Draymond in that instance. His playmaking ability with passing when Curry, doing a little bit too much, his defense right there, and his leadership. And plus, you got to think about the chemistry. I mean, these guys have been playing for a while.
Mm-hmm. They've been together for since 2013? I think that was Draymond's first year in the league. So, yeah. And I remember that whole debate between keeping Draymond or Harrison Barnes. And I was like, yeah, you keep Draymond. You don't keep Harrison Barnes. No, sir. They made the right decision. They made the right decision to me. So,
It's debatable. It's debatable.
Oh man!
Because you don't know what Harrison Barnes would have done. He was doing really good with the Warriors at that time, and then he left to Mavericks, and boom. So he could have still. He was a very athletic small forward at that time, giving them buckets. So if they would have kept him over Draymond, might have been a little bit more of a threat, in my opinion.
Nah, because you lose that playmaking ability, like we were mentioning.
Okay.
I mean, seriously.
I the playmaking you give a credit to Draymond is I'd say 3 or 4 assists. I don't see him as that effective of a playmaker.
Or he'll lead the break or something. But it's still important with their system, with the movement system.
Yeah, it's good ball movement for sure.
Yeah, I think the unpredictability of Steph that you say is as equal to Draymond, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's kind of reckless.
You said it's as equal to Draymond?
Yeah, Steph's unpredictability and like what were you saying earlier about Steph? His passing choices or something like that. What would you say?
He can be reckless with it sometimes. Yeah.
So can Draymond. Draymond is as reckless as Steph. I would say Steph's a little bit more effective as playmaking. You can't say that he's not.
He has a solid point there. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, remember when Draymond was just unaware and he went down the court or something and got the ball stolen from him, and KD was mad at him or something like that, and that created that little argument.
Well, I remember that. That was because Draymond is just a dummy in general. He makes some questionable decisions.
Thank you. So how you gonna say he's an effective playmaker? Oh no.
But no, I'm just saying overall for his overall mental makeup, because it's like, bro, why are you getting technical fouls? Why are you getting thrown out of games? In the finals, when he got thrown out of the game, like he made some dumb decisions. But that doesn't have anything to do with his playmaking ability. To whereas Curry, you're the point guard, and then you're trying to throw behind the back pass in Game 7 of the finals. What are you doing?
Yes, you're right there. But the only reason that they're in the finals is because of Steph, not Draymond. So like, it's a dumb decision, but he can make that dumb decision because he brought the team there. So I mean, like,
obviously, yeah, you're in the finals because of Steph and Clay, but you know, if Draymond's not there, as we saw, you know, they lose kind of that grit and that backbone. Because if not, not saying the Warriors are going to be a completely soft team, but they are definitely softer without Draymond there. That's for sure.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, they both kind of need each other.
I would say yes, because I'm going to stop after this, that Draymond's value is not stats. So that's the only.
I agree. His value is not stats. So especially not on the points, rebounds and assists. Those do tend to go a long way for him. That is true. Because I mean, the dude will have a triple double and it's like 12, 10, and 10. And it's a triple double.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna stop that there. We'll definitely revisit that topic. So do want to go ahead and transition to some football, right? We had a very surprising outcome yesterday from the Colts and the Titans game, which ended up, if I'm not mistaken, being 34-17. Brandarius, BD, or BG, what happened, man?
The Titans in the second half, it's just not good. That's the summary right there. Special teams play. The kicker, Gostkowski, I think it's time for him to hang it up. Every week he's missing a field goal. And, that defense, bringing in Clowney, I believe about 2 weeks ago, they brought in Desmond King. According to Pro Football Focus, the Titans have now been outscored 52-27 in the second half of the past 3 games. Derrick Henry had 19 carries, 103 yards.
He's doing his thing.
The game, the defense, and the special teams is the reason why they lost. Phillip Rivers is out here acting like he's playing for the San Diego Chargers again, man, throwing for 308 yards.
They're like the second coming to Joe Montana.
Man.
Yeah.
But I do have a question, though.
Absolutely not.
If you have 100 attempts to tackle Derrick Henry in the open field, how many times do you think it would take you to tackle him?
26.
Under.
All of them. I'm not tackling that man. That man is a beast.
I'll try. I'll probably give up after like 12, but like I'll try.
I would still try for sure, but I mean,
we're in pads, right?
Yeah.
That don't matter. That's not gonna matter one bit.
I'm not trying to get Josh Norman. You crazy?
101 then.
Greg has a better center of gravity than I do. So.
I'm going low shit. I'm going low, baby. I'm going for them laces.
Absolutely. Ryan Tannehill. A few weeks ago, there was talk about him being an MVP candidate. Where the heck does that even sit now? I definitely don't see him being an MVP candidate. I've never thought he was an MVP candidate. Like, it's Ryan Tannehill. Like, give me some feedback on that, man.
15 to 27, 147 yards, 1 touchdown.
Pedestrian.
I mean, he's just not when Derrick Henry is not eating against defense the way that you think that he would be, the play action is not there. And I think the tight ends, the offense right now, they did have a good play with Jonnu Smith. I did like that little tight end reverse touchdown. It was pretty nice. But, going up against the top defense like the Colts, I mean, they had their number. Now the Colts take first place in the division. And Ryan Tannehill, I never thought that he was an MVP candidate personally. He has those games where he's out there, he's really good. I think he's really good for the Titans because they know what to do with him. But if you put him on another team, I don't know.
He's a game manager.
Yeah, exactly. He's another Alex Smith, but not as good. Yeah, I totally agree. The thing about the Colts, when I'm switch back in there, they're doing this all without T.Y. Hilton, who I thought he was going to be a big part of it. Now that he has a QB in Phillip Rivers, granted older, I get it, but can still, be a comparable QB to what Andrew Luck was. And, I think T.Y. is out with an injury now, or he hasn't really been producing as well. But that Colts defense is tough. Like, they are very tough. Not saying they're going to go, far in the playoffs, but winning that division in the AFC, was it AFC South? I don't think anybody saw that.
They kept Phillip Rivers clean yesterday. He didn't get a lot of pressure, and when he did, he dumped it off to Hines, who had a big game, pretty good, decent game.
Right. Phillip Rivers had a lot of time. Yeah. At his age, it's probably going to be this will probably be his last hurrah, more than likely. I don't see him playing another season. If he did, then Philly should really trade for him and send Carson Wentz over there, and then
Can you imagine Phillip Rivers behind that no offensive line.
Let him finish his career, then put in Jalen Hurts. I mean, Philly got to do something with Carson Wentz.
Philly needs the mobility of Hurts and Wentz to stay alive because their O-line is terrible.
Yeah, for real. But that's another topic for
another time.
But no, absolutely. G-Reg, what big games do we have going on this weekend in the NFC?
Well, we got the Seahawks versus the Rams, probably the biggest one.
Ooh, Seahawks and Rams. C-Mac, what do you think of this game? You have a team in that, Seattle's 6-2 or 6-3 now? They're 6-3?
2.
6-2? They're 6-2. The Rams are 6-3.
5-3.
5-3.
5-3. Sorry, I thought they had one more game, but they both had their bye weeks. Okay, so Rams are 5-3. Seahawks 6-2. Rams have supposedly this great defense, and the Seahawks have a great offense, but not a great defense. So how do we see this going, C-Mac?
I'm trying to think. Was it the Patriots and Falcons? And the Falcons had this great offense, and they blew the lead against the Patriots. Solid team. I think I'm going to have to go with the Rams. 24-17.
Behind Jared Goff.
Yep.
And, okay, 24-17. B Brand. I'm coming up with different names from all the time. B Brand, G Brand, Big Baller Brand. I'm gonna call you Big Baller Brand.
Coming into the game, Chris Carson, Carlos Hyde, and Travis Homer are all questionable for the game. I think for Rush, he needs a running back. Carson's healthy and he plays. It's gonna be nice, but I'm gonna take the Rams in this one. Aaron Donald is tied with the most sacks in the league right now with 9. Russ has the most touchdowns, but you got Jalen Ramsey versus DK. If Tyler Lockett gets going the way that he went going against the Arizona Cardinals, I think the Seahawks can overcome it. But I think that Rams offense is just about to go crazy on that Seahawks defense. It is just terrible, even with Jamal Adams out there. So I'm going to go with the Rams 34 to about 24.
34-23, okay. G-Reg?
So the Rams, everything historical trends and everything are pointing towards the Rams. They're 4-2 against the Seattle since McVay came in. They're 5-0 at home. They're 3-0 at last 3 meetings, I think. All decided by like 5 points or less.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna. I mean, Russell. It's all up to Russell Wilson. Honestly, I mean, DK is gonna probably be gonna get shadowed by Ramsey. He's gonna. Russell's gonna have to avoid, every play. Darnold. I mean, Aaron Donald, and then he's gonna have to look for Lockett. I mean, it's just gonna be every play. If he doesn't turn the ball over, he has a chance. But he's been kind of sloppy with the ball, trying to make plays too many plays. So you've got to go Rams 31, Seattle 30.
Man, ooh, nail biter.
I hate picking both. It hurts my soul.
So
Take a
this
shower.
is what I'm looking at, guys. I think we're going to see a guy, a fourth string running back by the name of DJ Dallas, have a big week this week. Going to rush for about 80, 90 yards, have a touchdown, but those rushes he's going to have are going to be very impactful. And DK won't have a touchdown. He'll have about 70, 80 yards. Lockett will have a couple of touchdowns. And the Rams defense this week against a desperate Seahawks team that lost to the Bills last week are going to have some troubles. Now, they're not going to give up no 30 points, but Seahawks will win this game by a score of, I'm going to go 24-21. I don't trust Jared Goff and that Rams offense. They're putrid, horrible. Even though the Seahawks defense is putrid and horrible, I say that they're going to hold. Now, Russ will feel the pressure for sure. The Rams are the second defense in the NFL. But Russ's ability to scramble and the fact that he has something he's never had this season, which is receivers, I don't think he's going to make the same mistakes that he made against the Bills. That was a fluky loss. This is a division game. I know it's going to be close, but the Seahawks are hungry. They want to go to the Super Bowl. They feel like they have a great opportunity to do that. Because if they go down and lose to the Rams, you can pretty much kiss a division crown goodbye. So Seahawks coming out with the victory. G-Reg, what are the other big NFC games?
Well, typically you would say the Saints versus the 49ers, but the 49ers are bringing people off the street. They're playing. Jimmy Garoppolo is on IR. Kittle's on IR. Debo's not playing. Mostert's not playing. Richard Sherman's out. I mean, they're just throwing people against the wall and just praying something happens. And then we saw the Saints just smack Tampa Bay, so it's just like, I don't even. I mean, what good luck.
All right. The Cowboys are on the bye this week, so we don't even have to talk about that.
It's big dub for Cowboys.
And Philly's playing the Giants. Don't really want to go into that one.
Please start Gilbert.
Although Miles Sanders is healthy, so he will be in the backfield for the Eagles.
Out swish.
Probably good. All right. So, Brand, who do we have on the AFC side of the big games going on?
The AFC side is pretty weak. It's pretty weak this the matchup I have is the Dolphins versus Chargers. You got Justin Herbert versus Tua.
Ooh.
Dolphins are 5-3. Chargers are 2-6. I see the Dolphins winning this, but will it be another game decided by 5 points or less? I mean, I don't know how many games the Chargers have lost this year, decided by 5 points or less. It's kind of ridiculous. It goes into question, do you fire Anthony Lynn, or is it just the injuries this season with Eckler being out, Keenan Allen with back spasms, the defense, Joey Bosa being out? Right. That's one to watch right there, but I do have the Dolphins winning that. Probably, I'm going to say 27-24.
With Anthony Lynn, I don't think you fire him because you just transitioning from having Phillip Rivers to what it was supposed to be Tyrod Taylor until Herbert was ready. Now Herbert is ready and he is balling. So you get Bosa back next season, and I think you keep Lynn and seeing what he's able to do. I hope he doesn't get fired. In this regard, the Dolphins are well ahead of schedule. Tua came in, obviously took Fitzpatrick's spot, and Fitzpatrick was rolling, but he has a ceiling, and his ceiling is much lower than what the Dolphins think that Tua has. And the Dolphins' defense is playing very well too. So I do have the Dolphins winning, going to 6-3. It's going to be another heartbreak loss for the Chargers because that's just what they seemingly do. Score of 27-24, and we can really start looking at the Dolphins as being a threat to winning the AFC. Was that AFC North, AFC East, AFC East? So, and Tua's playing okay. He's getting more comfortable. So, in the battle of those quarterbacks, I think Herbert wins the battle, but loses the game. If that makes sense. G-Red, what do you got, man?
Yeah, like everybody said, Chargers will find a desperate way to lose. I mean, him and Joe Burrow, they seem like they find a way to lose. They're like right in the game, and then just blow it. I'm like, all right, cool. Nice for coming. Appreciate y'all. So they'll find a way to lose for sure. 27-24.
Okay. And C-Mac.
Based off of the records in the past weeks, I'm going to have to go Dolphins 28, Chargers 12. Or no. Yeah, 12.
Damn.
Yeah, it's going to be a disrespectful game tonight. Or Sunday.
With a biscuit or no?
Biscuit, no drink.
Ooh. That is dirty.
Popeye's biscuit, no drink.
Popeye's biscuit, no drink.
Choke.
Man. Hey, don't talk about my Popeyes. Oh, I was the one that said that. Hey, Popeyes, 2-piece Tuesdays.
Appreciate y'all for keeping me alive.
Not chicken, but Popeyes. Anyway, yeah, it's not a real heavy set football weekend. Now we do, Brand, want to talk about your team, Baltimore Ravens, going up against the New England Patriots. What should happen to that game? Because we know the Ravens should win that game.
With Baltimore right now, with that interview that Lamar said, or Lamar had this past week, saying that defenses are calling it out, their plays. It's going to be interesting to see them against, a Bill Belichick-led defense. They do have many players out because of COVID, but I think this is just a game that, Baltimore goes in there and it's just going to be, I don't think that it's going to be an easy win. I think we're going to see something like the Ravens versus Colts again this week. And I think the Ravens offense is going to struggle and they're going to have to figure a way to overcome it. Personally, I'm not all in on this offense yet. Hollywood, it's just there. We're not using them. Mark Andrews is getting double teamed. And, but I do feel bad for Cam Newton this week. I think he's about to have a terrible week and it's not going to help his case to get paid in the offseason.
Yeah. Prediction-wise?
I see Baltimore, we're going to say 28-17.
28-17, okay. G-Reg?
It's going to be a horrible game to watch. It's going to be like 17-14. It's like we're going to watch Cam and just Lamar just struggle to get their offense going. We're just going to hope that some running back makes a break a tackle, maybe defensive plays. Oh, Ravens defense probably make a couple players. Yeah, it's going to be – I don't want to watch it. I want no part of that.
Lamar's going to run all over the Patriots defense. The Patriots defense is bad. They're going to beat them somewhere around like 38 to like 10.
Jesus.
Maybe 17. But yeah, I don't see that one being very, very close at all. C-Mac.
I want to bet on Lamar Jackson, but Cam Newton's my guy, man. I gotta bet on the Patriots right now. I think it's gonna be a close game. 24-21 Patriots.
We'll be desperate this week, that is for sure.
Yeah.
But he's throwing even less people than Tom Brady had. That's saying. Yeah.
They drafted DK. Chubb should have drafted Chubb.
Yeah,
Going
Sony
here.
Michel is hurt too, isn't he?
I don't know who was watching the tape and thought Sony Michel was better than Nick Chubb. I don't know. Watching who's the scouting reporter over there at the Patriots, but I was like, are you kidding me? Just because he had that one game against Alabama that was decent.
And that's when they hyped him up. They definitely hyped that man up.
Not better than Chubb at all. The vision, the feet of Chubb, it's just not even close. He's just a fast guy that runs on the outside. He's soft in the middle.
Yeah. I don't know,
Fired.
I don't know. But that is the NFL portion. We do have some college football news. So there's about 3 games this Saturday that are going to be canceled for the SEC. Big one, Alabama versus LSU, even though LSU is struggling. And they may remake up that game because that could have some implications for the SEC. It's just COVID, man. They're not taking things very seriously, as we saw Notre Dame. Even though, we kind of knew that was going to happen. If you have an upset game, come on. The team's going to rush the field, obviously.
Yep.
So, C-Mac, you said you would do it.
I would have done it. Hell yeah. Come on, bro. You already got the game. Come on.
Yeah,
you already had the game.
You're there.
Everybody gonna rush the field and say 6 feet apart? Nah, that's not happening.
6 feet, everybody. That'd be wild, right? Everybody 6 feet apart.
If it was that big of a deal to the school at that time, I think you definitely should give some violations to the students who did run the field, which was probably 90%. But I haven't heard anything from the school punishing the students. So I think the school was like, we get it, but it's a good time. It's a great upset. We understand this is part of our history, part of the school's history. So they're not too bad about it, from what I hear.
Right. They'd probably just say be more careful next time.
They're oh, my bad. We forgot to do something about that. We didn't think we were going to win, so.
Yeah.
We're we didn't really think that one out.
But the NCAA, I'm sure, may be looking a little bit harder on that. So.
Yeah, they probably will. Yeah.
Yeah. So we will see about that one. It's a very tight race right now for the top 4 spot, as we kind of mentioned. A&M could possibly sneak in there. You have Cincinnati at 7. They could possibly get a chance to get in there, man. SEC has always been seen as a powerhouse. Sometimes people see the SEC as being a bit overrated. In your estimation, guys, in this weird season that we have, is an SEC team or a 2 SEC team, possibly even a 3 SEC team, national or college football playoff possible this year? What are your takes on that, starting with G-Reg?
So Bama for sure. Who gets the second? Does Florida sneak in? Georgia does not get in.
Florida, I think Florida and Bama have to play each other in that championship game.
Yeah, I think one SEC team gets in for sure.
Will one. Okay. All right.
You got Ohio State, and then you got Clemson. I think Clemson will be the one that sneaks in. I think they love Trevor Lawrence. It's good ratings. I think if they went out, I think they'll sneak in.
Well, I think they'll end up having a rematch with
Notre Dame.
Yeah, which, by the way, this is Notre Dame's first season being in a conference, because they've been an independent team for a while.
Trying to hide. Hiding and get that money.
Right. Big Brand, what do you got, man? You think there's
I see 2 SEC teams getting in. Either Alabama or Alabama's solidified. And I think A&M or Florida is going to sneak in there some way, somehow.
You think both of them are going to get in there?
Just one of them. I don't know which
Oh,
one. I'm sold on A&M more, but I think one of them's gonna sneak in.
Okay. C-Mac.
All I can say is Alabama's going to be in it. That's all I can say,
Alabama,
man.
Ohio State.
That's all I can say. I want to say Ohio because I have a really good friend and she's a ride or die Ohio fan. So I guess I could say Ohio to make her proud, but I just Alabama.
Well, just for the SEC, because Ohio State probably will get in there, but they're
Yeah.
Big Ten.
Yeah.
Alabama, unless they lose to Florida, which would be the SEC championship game, I couldn't see them losing anything else unless somehow when they have that makeup game, they lose to LSU, which would be just crazy. Although they would still get into the SEC championship game, so in a sense it wouldn't really matter. But Florida, unless Florida beats Alabama, A&M might get that spot, or we could see, shoots. What if Indiana sneaks in there? They start getting hot. Cincinnati's playing well. BYU. We have Oregon with the Pac-12 championship, even though they're, it doesn't really hold as much weight this year because they've had a much shortened season. Same with the Big Ten. They tend to give a Pac-12 team a chance. Oklahoma State blew it. Texas blew it early on. Oklahoma blew it. There's no Big 12 team. So I'm actually going to go against the grain this year, and I'm going to say Cincinnati's able to pull it off and get in there. I'm going to give Cincinnati the nod, going in as the number 4 seed, winning the American Athletic Conference and getting in there as a number 4 over an A&M. That's where I'm going. Unless Florida beats Alabama or like an Indiana beats Ohio State or something like that. Cincinnati, I think, gets in. So we're only going to see one SEC team. So it should look like Alabama, the winner of Notre Dame, Clemson, Ohio State, and then Cincinnati. That's what I'm looking at. So it's gonna come down to the wire. It is gonna be interesting. I will say that. So
the ghost of Kenyon Martin and Travis Kelce gets Cincinnati in there.
Right. So do have some quick news, little rundown, quick news for everybody. On this day, 73 years ago, Japanese American Wataru Misaka broke the NBA's color barrier and made his debut, becoming the first non-white player to play in the league. That was 73 years ago today. And I mean, just look how the NBA has progressed, since then. So that's something that's pretty cool. We also had the first, in baseball news, the first woman and Asian American general manager named Kim Ng. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. She became the first Asian American GM in MLB history. Now she's also the highest ranked woman in baseball, which I think is going to really open up a bunch of change to come in baseball. Any quick thoughts on that from anybody?
Yeah, it's progress. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead, Greg.
I was like, Marshall, is this thing on? Anybody?
Go ahead, C-Mac.
Yeah, change happens. It's all part of time. Some people want it fast. Some people are against the grain, and it's gonna come regardless whether you fight it or not. So, I mean, making big steps instead of the baby steps right now, and so it's all for the better.
Right. And
Bars.
Absolutely bars. No, it absolutely is. That's a huge step. Soccer news. We have C-Mac loves soccer. Liverpool's Mohamed Salah tested positive for COVID-19 while he was over playing with Egypt.
Play the man.
Right.
Play the man.
Once he clears all that quarantine stuff, they will play him. But Liverpool definitely needs him. They cannot have him, out. But
I honestly think they'll be all right. They'll be all right. I'm trying to see who are they playing next. But Klopp has been playing them in a new formation. I think they can get back to their 4-3-3. So without Mohamed Salah, I think they'll be fine.
Right. And they have a little bit of time because right now they're doing all the international games, this, that, and the other. So they have some time to get them back. Now, CMAC, you had the U.S. men's national team playing a friendly against Wales, in which they tied 0-0. And this is with a whole bunch of young players. I mean, we're talking average age of the team is like 21.
Yeah.
Years, and we got a bunch of 19-year-olds, this, that, and the other. So they tied with Wales. I was hoping that they could have picked up a win. They will be playing Panama, I believe, next week for World Cup qualifying, beginning of World Cup qualifying. What do you kind of see with this team moving forward?
I haven't been following the progress of the youngsters. But I think a lot of them have built up their confidence because they did very well in the U21 team, and the U18 team. So I think they have a lot of confidence. They were very successful. Definitely with some guided advice from stars like Pulisic. He's been under the watch and in the Bundesliga and being able to play with some really great players like Marco Reus and getting good coaching. So I think he's able to bring some of that over to the team who are still playing like MLS. I think that's going to be the benefit for the team, and they might even get some of their players to start playing in like Premier League, La Liga. So we just have to wait and see.
Right. We definitely have, there's definitely 13, 14 guys playing over in the overseas competition, between the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple other the major leagues. So they're definitely building.
Is there one in Syria? I'm not 100% sure.
I believe there is. I forget who plays in Syria, but I believe they do have a guy that's playing with Juve.
Okay, yeah. I think I know.
Juve and Inter, actually. I think they're
okay.
Players I don't know names of. I apologize.
Oh yeah, Weston McKennie. Yeah, Weston McKennie.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, yeah.
Weston McKennie. So
yeah, we just gotta wait for the flower to bloom. That's all we gotta do.
Absolutely, and they may at least make the World Cup in 2022. That's all I'm saying. That's a step in the right direction. Necessarily winning it. Obviously, the goal would be to always win it, but at least go in the right direction because we've been going the other way.
I'd rather us not make it and just be very disappointed and get our hopes up too high. I think we'll get there back in time. Because, bro, I've been watching some of these African teams go into the World Cup and just, woo! I don't want to be that team. I can't root for that team that's down by 4 or 5 goals. I can't.
I mean, hey, look what happened to Brazil when they played Germany. What was it?
Oh, see, we can't count that because Neymar was hurt, and it was like we
can't wet the bed and lose 8-0 though. Damn.
That's the best player. That it was gonna happen. Everybody knew that was gonna happen.
I knew they were gonna lose, but 8-0.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Germany is that good at that time. No.
I get it, but he plays up top.
You still
got your defense intact. Come on, man.
They were all demoralized. They were like, we had no chance.
Shook. They were shook out there.
Not 8-0. That's pretty much quit.
Yeah, you could try to make it reasonable. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. All I'm gonna say is G-Reg, Brandarius, stay with me. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
believe. I believe that will win. Yeah, legendary chant.
Absolutely. Now, C-Mac, you betrayed us. You don't get a chance to say that.
Like,
That's fair.
let's be the Knicks. I was like, what?
At least I like Landon Donovan. Oh.
That guy.
Yeah,
Great. He's a good player, but a bit overrated. Anyway, y'all didn't hear me say that.
Bang, bang.
That is still a tough time.
Also, I know I'm switching back and forth. Marshall University will be wearing their uniforms in their game on Saturday to honor those who lost their lives in that tragic plane crash 50 years ago. 50 years ago, there was that tragic plane crash. You saw there, they made the movie on We Are Marshall. So, again, they're honoring those that have, that passed away in that tragic plane crash today. So that's pretty cool. It's good to see that. The Masters. Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Is he back?
He's always back. He's like the Longhorns are always back.
Or was he? He never left.
Yeah.
He never left. Yeah, he won the Masters. He's the defending champion. He's looking, he's looking pretty good, all things considered. He's sitting at under 4. They had to suspend plays at 10, at the 10th hole right now for the second round. Mickelson rose up. Right now, leading is Ancer. His name is Ancer from Mexico. He's from Mexico?
Yeah, Ancer.
So, yeah, we will see.
Abraham Ancer, yeah.
Abraham Ancer. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. DeChambeau, I know, was one people thought may have an opportunity to win. Right now, he's sitting kind of back a little ways. Where is DeChambeau?
He's tied for 61 plus 1.
He's at plus 1,
yeah,
at over 1. So he's having a rough time. Mickelson is also in the mix right now.
Yeah.
He had a pretty good day. He's sitting at under 5, tied for 19. Rahm is sitting at under 8. He's at under 5 today through 12. So, we have some good guys. Right now, what is it, Justin? Is it Justin Thomas?
Justin Thomas, yeah. And then Rory McIlroy and Webb Simpson tied for
Hearing a lot about Dustin Johnson today.
Yeah, so Ancer, Smith, Thomas, and Johnson are all tied at under 9 right now. So they're doing good. With Ancer really making a big jump today at under 5 on the day. So that honestly won't last. I think, if anything, the person that I trust will be Dustin Johnson to hold on and possibly win this tournament. But it would be cool to see, Tiger get back in that mix. But I can see Dustin Johnson holding on and getting that green jacket this year. So we shall see at the Masters.
At the Masters.
So switching back, I forgot a game in the NFL. Big brand. We have the Bills and the Cardinals. What do you see in that game, man? Because that's a big game, more for the Cardinals than it is for the Bills. That's a big game for the Bills, especially if the Dolphins are creeping up on them.
With the Dolphins coming up, the Bills are trying to hang on to that number 1 spot in the division. Coming off of that win against Seattle and Buffalo, that defense looks like it's getting it together. At the beginning of the season, everybody thought that defense was going to be top 5. Not top 5, but they looked pretty nice against Russell. So, they're going up against the number 1 offense in the league, Kyler Murray, that air raid attack. The matchup I have this week is Tre'Davious White versus D-Hop. Tre'Davious White, if he's shadowing D-Hop, This might be another breakout game for Christian Kirk. We're going to see if he's going to come alive. I actually have a fun fact for this game. Larry Fitzgerald's first game against the Bills, Emmitt Smith was the running back for the Cardinals. That's how old he is.
I remember when I had Emmitt Smith and then Edgerrin James for a little bit.
What was that? What year was that? B-Brand? That was.
I'm not too sure on that.
I think that was like 2000 because he's been in the league for what, 17 years?
Long time.
It's like 16, 17, something like that.
That was like 03, 04 was his first year.
I think this is going to be the battle of the quarterbacks. Josh Allen coming off that big game versus Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's having a pretty solid year, but he's turning the ball over a little bit too much. That's why he's not really in the MVP discussion. He's actually doing better than Lamar's MVP season, but he's turning the ball over a little bit too much. So
which means he's not doing better.
Stats-wise, if you're going to yards and the touchdowns, he's doing better. This dude he's a replica of Lamar, but a better arm. But is it the offense that he has with D-Hop, Kirk, Larry, having the offensive coordinator, Kingsbury? This game right here, this is the toughest game that I was just like stuck between with the Bills and the Cardinals. It's like I want to go with the Cardinals, but the losses to the Lions, the Panthers, last week to the Dolphins, it's like they're dropping games that they should be winning. So this game right here, I'm 50-50. I don't know who's going to win this one.
Okay. C-Mac.
Come back to me.
Okay. G-Reg.
Bills in 4. Let's go. Yeah, I got the Bills. I think just Arizona's just too inconsistent at times, and Kyler Murray loses his accuracy at pivotal points, and he misses wide open throws and some throws that he should be making. So I think coming off that big win with the Bills, I think they're going to keep momentum and win.
Okay. This is a teaching moment for Kyler Murray. They will lose this game. It's going to be a rough one. They'll probably tally up about 10 points, be 27-10. Josh Allen has been rolling. It will also help him with a possible case for MVP because he may not be in the front runner, but he's in the conversation. Like, you got to put Josh Allen in that conversation. He's having a hell of a season. So, and his receiving core with, Diggs definitely was great picking him up. Decent receiving core overall. So the Bills will win this game. It's a 27-10, go to 8-2, and they don't want the Dolphins to gain ground on them either.
I need Chase Edmonds to go off. He's in my fantasy club. Please, I need you. If you're listening, please.
I need Murray to throw the ball to D-Hop. He's on my fantasy. He wants to use him. And I'm like, man, he's not going to use him. I have him on my bench. Then I put him on. I'm like, bro, you barely threw to this man. What y'all doing? Hey, go ahead, G-Reg.
I already went. I said the Bills in 4.
Oh, you said Bills in 4.
We got this. Bills. Let's go 27-17.
Okay. Big Brand, I gotta get a score from you, man. I know you 50-50 on it.
The Bills are 3-1 on the road. The Cardinals are 2-2 at home. I feel like the Cardinals are going to drop another game at home. Disappointing game. I'm going to say it's going to be high scoring. I'm going to say 38-35 Bills.
Cardinals are 2.5-point favorite. Go ahead, C-Mac.
The Cardinals are the favorite right now?
Yeah, Cardinals are 2.5-point favorite.
Wow. Well, I got my money on the Cardinals right now. I don't see a huge difference between okay, maybe there's a huge difference in the yardage between Allen and Murray, but as far as the turnovers go, it's a two interceptions favor to Murray. So I don't know. I feel like just let it ride on the Cardinals this Sunday. So I'm gonna say 1 touchdown difference. 17-24 Cardinals.
You know what's crazy? Kyler Murray is the leading passer, and he's also the leading rusher for the Cardinals right now. And, that's incredible
Like
he
good or
is.
bad?
Depends on which way you look at it. It's kind of bad.
The hype was great in the offseason, man. I mean, he was terrible coming out. Not terrible, but he just didn't reach the expectations, you know.
Right.
Now with Edmonds, I mean, Edmonds looks pretty nice with them. So.
Right. I mean, Buffalo really doesn't have a running game to speak of. Singletary is your top rusher.
95 carries, almost 400 yards.
One touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they use Josh Allen. He runs it in when he's in the red goal line.
Right. So, very, very interesting. Very interesting. I want to give a shout out to as well. I meant to mention this the other day. Steelers coach Mike Tomlin has the most wins of any African American coach, sitting at now it's 142, and he broke a tie. Who did he break a tie with? Tony Dungy. He broke a tie with Tony Dungy. So obviously he'll get another win because they're playing the Bengals. Although I have some people thinking that the Bengals will upset them, so I'm very curious to know what those people are smoking.
Don't talk to those people. Just don't answer ever again.
No, but it could happen. I mean, it's the NFL. Anything could happen.
Yeah, Burrow's pretty good. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Right. So, want to transition back to NBA, right? Interesting signing, which kind of it's a bit of a head scratcher. I'm like, bro, why don't you just retire? Donis Haslam is coming back for his 18th season.
Let's go.
Why?
It's because he took a short. It's because he took less money at one time, and Miami told him that they'd keep paying him. It was like a long, lifetime deal thing. So they're just going to keep re-upping until they give all the money that he's owed.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't even play. He's essentially a player coach at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not a bad gig, man.
Sign him up, baby. Let's go.
$1 million a year for that? $2 million?
Yeah.
Just to sit on the bench and wave a towel? I'm down. Let's go, Tyler. Let's go, Tyler.
That's how they do it.
Dade County. Let's go.
I want to give a shout out now to, I'm switching to women's college basketball. Young lady by the name of Azzi Fudd. I don't want to butcher her name. Yeah, Azzi Fudd. She's the number one player coming out of women's high school basketball. She's committed going to UConn. She had a horrible injury after her sophomore or during her junior year, ACL. She had to rehab that, and you know how hard it is coming back from that. And you know, a lot of those scholarships went away, and UConn is still, you know, going to pick her up. She won the Gatorade High School Player of the Year as a sophomore. Now, this girl is cold, and going to UConn, which is already the women's GOAT of college basketball, women's college basketball anyway.
Yeah.
So
the big pickup.
Yeah, great pickup. So we'll definitely.
She was 12 when she received her first scholarship.
Yeah, 12 when she. Thank you. Remind me, 12 when she received her first scholarship. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Last year.
Right. So there's moving back to the NBA because there's so much NBA news going on right now. G-Reg, I know you had tweeted this one out too of what you saw, the Ricky Rubio deal, possibly between Phoenix and I think it was like OKC and Dallas. What's going on with that?
I think it was a switch for CP3. They wanted, obviously, I think the Phoenix Suns. There was rumors about Phoenix. So it all stems from CP3 apparently wants to, if he's not going to go to a contender, he wants to be close to his house in LA. So that leaves kind of where the rumors are filling the Clippers, the Lakers, the Phoenix. So he'd be an upgrade over Ricky Rubio, obviously, a little bit, you know, offensively and be able to run a team. And he's probably not as injury. I mean, they're kind of like the same injury concerns as Ricky Rubio. But I think if Ricky Rubio can get to Dallas, I mean, I think that's a really good pickup for them.
Yeah, Rubio to Dallas. Luka's essentially a 2 anyway. That's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, if they can't get Jrue Holiday, I mean, Ricky Rubio on defense and another playmaker next to improve. He's improved his offense a lot. So
He has. He actually has. He's a better shooter now.
yeah.
Big Brand, what you think, man?
I think all signs are pointing towards the Suns right now. The head coach, Monty Williams, he used to coach CP3 in New Orleans when, CP3 used to give the Lakers and the Spurs some trouble back in the day. I think the biggest question is, CP3 is 35 years old. I believe he's due $85 million for 2 years.
That's crazy.
Do you think he's really worth it? I mean, he brings that, the clutch. I mean, last year we saw he was pretty clutch, and what he did with OKC with those young guys, how efficient they became. I think the Suns are looking at that and saying, CP3 could come here and let's see how efficient, Booker takes it to another level. DeAndre Ayton, he takes it to another level. But if you're the Suns, I say keep Kelly Oubre. As a Wizards fan, keep Kelly Oubre. I think he just needs to stay with Phoenix, and I think he could be something good in this league. Not top 5 small forwards, but I say at least top 10 small forwards. Possibly. I say potential ceiling-wise, playing with Phoenix.
Okay,
if you go
fair. Potential, if that's fair.
You put the Gilmore brand on that stamp of approval. Kelly Oubre, boom, top 10.
Brand approved. C-Mac, what are your thoughts, brother?
I don't know what to comment on, man.
on the Rubio CP3 trade.
So CP3 to the Mavericks.
No, CP3 to the Suns. Ricky Rubio to the Mavericks.
Honestly, I think Ricky Rubio should go to the Suns and Chris Paul go to the Mavericks.
He's in the Suns.
Huh?
Ricky Rubio is on the Suns.
Oh my! Poof! I haven't been paying attention. Was he hurt? I didn't see him playing at all during the
bubble.
The bubble.
He might have been. He might have been hurt. But he played most of the regular season. I remember watching him.
Okay.
But this is his first season in Phoenix. He was in.
Yeah. Okay.
Utah before.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. He was in Utah. That's interesting. He'll make a good fit for the Mavericks. I think he does drive a little bit. I think he picked up that mid-range jumper, which would definitely help and give more space to Luka, because Luka's pretty versatile when it comes to threes and driving. Keep him guessing, keep the defense on their toes. If Chris Paul were to go to the Mavericks, I think he would clog up the lane for Luka. So I think
it'd be just Chris Paul going to the Suns, not the Mavericks.
I know. I was saying, because I was thinking Chris Paul would be a good fit for the Mavericks. But I think Ricky Rubio would probably be a good move. But damn, Chris Paul to the Suns, I don't think that would be a good fit. I think Chris Paul wanted to stay in Oklahoma though, so
possibly like G-Rex said, he wanted to be closer to his house in LA. Possibly going to the Clippers was an option as well. He's got a good relationship with Steve Ballmer still. With Ty Lue, he wanted to play for Ty Lue.
Mm-hmm.
But
Kawhi called him.
Say it again.
Kawhi apparently called him.
Yeah, Kawhi's been trying to actively recruit him because he wants a point guard. No shade to Patrick Beverly, but Patrick Beverly is
all the shade.
All the shade.
All that talking and just getting blown by, just fouling out every game.
All right. So, which is why they want Patrick Beverly to go back to Houston with, Paul George and all that. So,
so you don't think CP3 on the Mavs would be good?
Nah, I don't.
You don't think it's a Harden CP3 kind of a clone team?
It is, but the thing with that is I don't think Dallas would work with CP3. He is a good passer. He can get his own shot, but I don't think that's really helping Dallas get to that next level. They would probably be a second-round team, if anything. They need a 3-guard. They need a 3-guard. That's what Dallas really needs.
Harrison Barnes.
So you don't think OKC was?
Yeah, Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes from 2000 16.
2014 or 15. But that could work. Go ahead, G-Reg.
Oh no, I was just saying. So Dallas almost beat the Clippers, and probably could have did something against Denver. You don't think that would elevate them because CP3 took OKC to a higher level. You don't think he could elevate with Luka and Porzingis?
Porzingis' health.
Yeah.
Had that other surgery. That's why I'm like, if he goes there, you just don't know what Porzingis is going to look like. So that would put CP3 in a tough situation. So I just don't think that would work. With Luka, especially with Luka already pretty much being the facilitator and the scorer, this, that, and the other, you really want a PG that can play. I mean, Chris Paul can play off the ball, but
I mean, Harden and him did it.
Right, but CP3 also has the ball in his hands a lot. So, me personally, I just don't think that works. I mean, it almost got them to the championship with Paul and Harden.
Bring away.
For sure. But at the same time, now with that Mavericks roster that isn't as strong as that Houston Rockets roster that they had when they almost went to the finals, I just don't think, having CP3 is going to get there unless you can somehow add him and then get Tim Hardaway Jr. off the team and get a better 3 guard. Like that would be a way. But other than that, I just don't see that really elevating him. If he really wants to win, Phoenix is a nice option because they're young. Now they have that veteran leadership. They're going to move forward. The Clippers, I don't want to see it. I'd hate them even more, but it could work. So, last topic I wanted to bring up to you guys. Denver Nuggets. We got to talk about that man that should have played and would have given Denver an opportunity to go to the finals. Bobo. There has been reports that Denver's been interested in acquiring Jrue Holiday, but the only way they're going to be able to do that is if they send Bobo to the Pelicans. I want to hear some thoughts on that.
Wait,
anyone can go.
They're trying to pick up – the Denver Nuggets are trying to pick up Jrue Holiday.
Yes.
Don't even waste it.
Washed.
You said
Garrett Harris lost in the championship.
And Will Barton, we don't know what his knee is going to look like either coming back. So I don't think it's a bad pickup to pick up Jrue Holiday, but if you have to get rid of Bobo, no, don't do it. You already lost Jeremy Grant. Don't do it.
How they lose Jeremy Grant?
Oh, he's going to go sign somewhere else. He's testing free agency. He's not going back to Denver.
Oh, he's testing. He's dipping his toe in the water.
He's not. I don't think he's going back to Denver though. Miami is a possible suitor. I think the Lakers may be a possible suitor. The Rockets may be a possible suitor. So I don't think he's going back to Denver.
I mean, they have to make a decision, right? Because if they pay Grant near max or whatever he's going to be worth, 15, 18 million, then you have to make a decision. I mean, you already made a decision on Michael Porter pretty much because his contract's coming up. So it'd be interesting. I think Grant, if they lose Grant, they're in big trouble.
Nah, I don't think so.
Big trouble. Because that's the defensive anchor at small forward. You cannot afford, especially around Murray.
What have I been saying? Bobo can step into the role. Bobo can step into the role, man. I'm trying to tell y'all.
I don't think he'll ever be a starter.
I just haven't seen enough from Bobo. Maybe if he goes somewhere and he's able to do that. But even with the Pelicans, I mean, you trade him to the Pelicans, and I mean, you're looking at a lineup of Lonzo, JJ, Ingram, Zion, and they're gonna start Bobo immediately over Jackson Hayes or Jahlil Okafor. I mean, I don't see Bobo even reaching his potential with that team still with the Pelicans.
Well, actually, this is what I would think the Pelicans would be interested in doing is they would try somehow to get LaMelo on that team. So your starting lineup would be Lonzo, LaMelo, Ingram, Zion, and Bobo. That would probably be your starting 5 because they want to run. They want to run and gun.
Yeah.
It's a 2K lineup. Bobo and Brady Ingram are the exact same player.
I think Bobo's actually a kind of good fit on Pelicans because he spreads the floor for Zion and Ingram, so
Right.
they can operate more on the inside.
Right. But if I'm Denver, I'm not giving up Bobo. Having a Bobo and a Michael Porter Jr., those are like unicorns on your team. Those are diamonds in the man. You can't let go of Bobo. The dude has an opportunity to step into a Jeremy Grant's role, which Jeremy Grant started. Sometimes he came off the bench, this, that, and the other. And you need to play this man. Quit messing around, Denver.
No, I would trade for Jrue Holiday every day.
No,
every day.
I wouldn't do it.
What do you think Bobo's potential is? You know, comparing him to a star, like what would you say Bobo can be like?
I think he's someone that we may not, see. I think he's right now coming in as a prototype to, oh man, I'm trying to think of somebody who could come in.
He's quicker than a Porzingis, I think.
He's quicker than Porzingis. He has a little bit better handles. So it's kind of, to me, I think his potential could be something kind of like when KD came into the league. Like, we hadn't seen anything like KD before. You know what I mean? But will he get there? I don't think so. But he is going to pave the way for somebody else to come in the future classes, whether that be the dude, what's his name, out of France, 16-year-old kid.
Oh, yeah.
7'3".
7-foot high school player, Chet.
Holmgren. Yeah, Chet could be another one. I know a bunch of people are high on Kai. I don't remember his name. Filipino star coming out of high school as well.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I know Imani Bates, people are high on Imani Bates as well, although they compare him to Kevin Durant. So I think Bobo has the opportunity to be something that we haven't seen, and having him and Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. is not the quickest, doesn't have the quickest foot speed, which is why, you could potentially hide him behind a Bobo. Obviously, you're not going to get rid of Jokic. Jokic is going to be your center, but you don't have that athleticism, that shot blocker, because Rudy Gobert was killing them. You put Bobo in there on Gobert, you have a better chance, even though he's a little bit light in the butt, you have a better chance of getting some of those blocks. So I think Bobo has an opportunity to be I'm not going to say a transcendent player, but at least something we haven't seen. So if you're Denver, don't let him go. But that has been, and going to be it. I was going to say that has been it for the show. That's going to be it for this week's episode of Stats versus Facts. Guys, we had another solid
banger.
You know what I mean? And as always, check us out on Breaker, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor. What, C-Mac? Anchor.fm.
I was like, I don't know.
He was like, I didn't get that memo.
I don't know. What even was that on?
Anchor.fm. And also check us out.
That's my address.
Sports Talk, Stats versus Facts Sports Talk on the IG and Twitter, SVF Sports Talk, man. Big Brand, C-Mac, G-Red. This is another good episode. We have a very, very going to be extraordinary next episode coming up for you guys, a draft night special. So y'all stay tuned for that.
Spurs in 4.
Oh.
Sir. Yes, sir. Spurs in 4.
Baby.
We might pick
Got the new
second
uniforms
round
ready.
pick. Second pick.
Let's go. Them Spurs uniforms look nice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking for the bootleg versions right now. Everybody is listening has the hookup for the bootleg versions.
DHgate. Download the app. DHgate.
Let's go. If you're in the South Side, let me know. The flea markets, let me know.
Absolutely. But man, like I said, it's been another great one for that man C-Mac, for that man Big Brand, for that man G-Reg. We need to get Swish and Brook. Where they hiding at? Go ahead and play that song for me. And they'll probably be back for the draft show. Hopefully, EA, we haven't seen him in a while too, so hopefully we get my guys on there too. But like I said, guys, another great one, and we will catch y'all next time on
versus
that.
facts, ayy. Stats versus facts, ayy. You know where we at on the stats versus facts. Yeah, my boy, hella black. He black. On the stats versus facts, and you might get smacked by the stats versus facts, ayy.